Hi everyone, Mr. King here to go over how to do the Past Engineer newsletter. This is weekend homework and it's the first step of our 10th grade project-based learning. It's very important that you do this on time. Past Engineer newsletter, engineer of the past. So let's read the instructions. We will summarize the engineer's life. We will identify an engineer's character trait. We will summarize the engineer's accomplishments, or what the engineer accomplished. And lastly, what we can learn from engineer. In each body paragraph, highlight the topic sentence green, highlight transition sentence blue, highlight the evidence yellow, highlight the reasoning orange, and highlight your concluding sentence red. Now, let me explain how to do this. Now, the engineer of the past that we read in class is Marie Curie. Now, I recommend that you do your Past Engineer newsletter on Marie Curie. However, some of you might be more interested in internet technologies. And if you are someone who is more interested in internet technologies than in Marie Curie, then you may also do the Tim Berners-Lee bio. Tim Berners-Lee is the inventor of the internet. So if you wish, you may read his biography, annotate it, and then do your newsletter on Tim Berners-Lee, inventor of the internet. But for the demo, I'm going to imagine that you are doing your newsletter on Marie Curie. Let's look at the summary. So, name of engineer, I would write Marie Curie. Grew up in, and let's see, where did she grow up? Where did she grow up? I need to go back to the text and see. Oh, I see in early life that she was born in Warsaw, Poland in 1867. So I would write I would write her name here. She grew up in Warsaw, Poland in the 19th century. As a child, what did she do as a child? I'm going to read the rest of early life and look for what she did as a child. Oh, I can see that Marie started attending a boarding school, then moved to a gymnasium, a selective school for academically strong children. And that at age 15, she graduated from high school, winning the gold medal for top student. So, I can infer that as a child, she was interested in science and won the gold medal for top student. She worked in the area of, okay, what area did she work in? Let's see. Well, I actually know that so let's see. One of the areas she worked in several areas, but in her later years, Marie Curie's dearest wish was to explore the use of radioactivity in medical applications. To do this, she established the Radium Institute. We identified this in class as one of the key details of the text, right? Using radioactivity in medicine to treat tumors, right? She worked in the area of medical research. You could also put that she worked in the area of physics and chemistry, because that's also true. She won the Nobel Prizes in physics and chemistry. Right, chemistry because she discovered two elements. She's widely known for a couple things. We know in the text that She discovered two new chemical elements, radium and polonium. I'll just say discovering two elements, and what else is she known for? Well, her introduction says her most important accomplishments. She carried out the first research into the treatment of tumors with radiation. Okay. She's widely known for discovering two elements and being the first person to treat tumors with radiation. In your summary paragraph, no need to highlight anything. Your summary paragraph is different. Because in a summary, you do not have direct quotes. You only have what the text says in your own words. So you don't need to do this highlighting thing for the summary paragraph. All right, so this is what I would put. You don't need to have what I have word for word, but I'm going to delete what I have now so that your document is blank when you start. Cool. Now let's do the next paragraph together too. So your first body paragraph. Your first body paragraph is identify a character trait of Marie Curie. A character trait means an adjective that you would describe Marie Curie as. So what kind of adjective would you use to describe Marie Curie? Now, I personally, after reading her story, I would describe this engineer as persistent. Persistent. Persistent means that even when something is difficult, and even when there are obstacles, you keep on going. You might also say determined. You might also say, I would describe this engineer as the essence of perseverance. You might describe her as innovative or creative, because she was creative when she thought of an application or a way to apply radioactivity. Right? She had to be creative to think, I could use radioactivity to treat tumors. But I'm going to say I would describe this engineer as persistent. She displayed this trait when, let's see, when did Marie Curie display persistence? Well, I remember this is one of the key details we have. Right? Remember that Marie Curie was passionate about science and wanted to continue learning about science, but she faced these obstacles. Her father had too little money to send her to university, and on top of that, higher education or universities were not available for girls in Poland. Right? But I know that despite the obstacles she faced, she attended lectures and laboratory practicals, or like lab sciences lessons, at an illegal free university. Okay. So that shows her persistence, I think. She displayed this trait when she displayed this trait when she attended a university, even though it was illegal for girls to attend universities. We see this in the text here. Right? She also attended lectures and laboratory practicals at an illegal free university. Now that quote shows me exactly what I paraphrased above it. Bam. Let me fix those quotation marks. You can't have double quotes inside double quotes. It's not correct. Okay. This quote demonstrates that well, now this is my reasoning, right? I have my topic sentence, I have my my transition sentence, my quote, and now time for my reasoning. And in my reasoning, I need to explain how this quote demonstrates that Marie Curie is persistent. So, let's go. This quote demonstrates that Marie Curie is persistent because despite being legally barred, which means banned, despite being banned from attending a university, she was willing to break the law to obtain a higher education. And then I go even further. Curie's willingness to break the law demonstrates her persistence. Remember, we're proving that this quote shows that she's persistent. So I'm saying her willingness to break the law, which we describe here, demonstrates her persistence in the face of obstacles. Now, my concluding sentence should go even further than the reasoning and extend the claim. This quote sends the message that now I'm extending the claim. And I'm describing what this quote shows about Marie Curie besides the fact that she is persistent. I've already explained in the reasoning exactly how this quote shows that Marie Curie is persistent. But to score a 4, I'm going even further down here, and I'm explaining how this quote in fact reveals even more about Marie Curie. This quote sends the message that Marie Curie's passion for science was stronger than the barriers that she faced. Because remember, I saw in the text here that she was passionate about science and wanted to continue learning about it. So, I can infer that her passion for science must have been stronger than the 2 obstacles that stood in her way. Because what ended up happening? She ended up going to a university. And because she ended up going to a university, I can infer that her passion for science must have been stronger than the obstacles she faced. She, Marie Curie, would not allow society's expectations of her to determine the course of her life. When I say that, Now, what is society's expectations of her? Well, remember, it was illegal for women to go to college back then. Now, if it's illegal for women to go to college, then society expects that women will not go to college. But even though society expected women to not go to college, Marie Curie would not allow society's expectations to determine what she did. She was persistent. And that's how you score a 4, ladies and gentlemen. Now, after you're done with that, and I want to see your character trait paragraph, you can use the quote I took, but I want you to write this in your own words. You can copy my ideas for this paragraph, but use your own words, please. Now, after that, down here, you're going to have identify the most substantial accomplishment that Curie made, and then same paragraph structure, and then identify what you learn from Marie Curie, right? So what do you learn from her? For example, you might learn that I learned that even if I face obstacles, I shouldn't let them stop me from doing what I want or what I am curious about. You might learn from her that if you have an idea of how to help a whole lot of people, you should do it, even if it's hard. You could learn that from her because she had an idea of how to treat tumors with radium. And that was really hard to do, but she went for it and it worked. Right? And of course, I would use this highlighting system to highlight each sentence of my paragraph like it should be. All right. I'm going to pause this right here. Message me with questions on Schoology. This must be completed on time. Bye.